What up, folks? I am Ultrazilla, and today I have a review of the Transformers Legacy Haslab Victory Saber. That's right, my zillions. Finally getting to do this Haslab, which, I mean, I didn't get that long ago. Just a couple weeks ago or so. And, yeah, it's taken me a little bit to get it together. Sure, and I've had some issues, but this is cool. This is something I've wanted for a long time. As you can see, this is a really big box. I'm going handheld on it, and it's an awesome box for the most part. The art is fantastic. Beautiful art on the cover here. Love the background. You see Star Saber here. You see Victory Leo here, and they make a Victory Saber. Got Transformers on the side. You got a nice Victory Saber in foil there. And you got product shot on the back. It's cool. You got, you know, more little guys. You got all about Saber, Victory Leo, the brain of courage, holy, and fire, all of which are in here, which is cool. Now the box is opening up, which is fine. So we will open it like so. These are the trays you get in there. So the thing is, it just kind of falls out, and it does have this cover here, which is very, very cool. This is the art again, this time with Holy and Fire. I like this. You got Deathsaurus in the background. It's just kind of sitting here, and it definitely falls out right away. But the other side here is pretty incredible. They give you the whole Japanese side of things. More product shots, different art, very Japanese style. Absolutely love this. This is cool, so if you want to just completely flip around everything, you can. Which is awesome. Again, I'm just showing you that upside down. That's fine, it's just product shots. But look at this art. Anywho, the packaging is pretty awesome. I will say that. I do want to give a shout out to the directions, which are actually pretty good. You see that art is on here. It's in full color. And I felt like they were pretty decent in showing me the way. So, without any further ado, let's get to the review. And here's Victory Saber, all combined. Yes, we're starting out at the end, because you know what? This is the main focus here. This is what I'm going to be keeping it as. This is what I wanted to show you guys most of all. We're going to look at everything, but we're going to start here and work our way backwards, because I think this is the way to go here with this particular one. So yeah, this is not like one of those reviews to use for your transformations. Not that any of mine ever are, but look at this guy. This is amazing. It's also on the amazing Victory Saber stand that it comes with, which was one of the unlockable tiers. I'm glad we unlocked that because it looks amazing. We're going to look at that more closely in a second, but this is just a presence, man. And I'm going to say that right now. It's a beautiful presence. It looks awesome. Everything combined, Victory Leo, Star Saber, they just work together very well here. I think Hasbro, Takara did a great job with the final product, and really, that's what matters most. Okay, so let's start out with this base. You got the big, giant V in yellow, nicely done. You have the Autobot symbol here, also nicely done. Sorry, my hands are wet. Then you got this clear base, which is cool. Of course, you have this part. This is the part that plugs into Victory Saber's butt, right there. So you could do that. And of course, this also comes off and then can be placed here. And this will be for the Starship mode. But a really nice piece here. Then, as you can see, we have a shield. Blue paint here, which looks good. Autobot symbol there looks good. The sculpting is pretty nice. Got a nice handle here that you do pop on, like so. That's what all of that looks like. That's pretty cool. So you saw he held it in his hand. You could also, you know, put it here if you'd like, attach it there, which looks kind of cool. It's very Gundam-esque that way. This whole thing is very Gundam-esque. You know, that was the style. So that looks pretty good. Attached to his side here, we have a sword. His sword, not only his sword, but Star Saber. You know, Victory Saber is Star Saber and Victory Leo. This looks really good. Nice silver paint there, nice sculpt. This part here looks decent as well. White, yellow, black paint, all look good. This extends, which is cool. You could also somehow place this within here. I don't know where exactly it goes. I know there's a spot. Is it in the side here? I think so. It seems like it would be right there, but it's not going in very well. But there's storage there somewhere. I don't want to scratch my paint. But you can place this behind or something. I don't know. There's a way. Oh, this is silly. You can do it like that. Sometimes the easiest things, guys. But the sword in his hand, he has a hole there. And you can put the sword in his hand, of course. Now, I think the sword is too small. You know, when you're looking at it, you know, the way we're looking at it doesn't. But when you really look at the sword, it just feels very, very small for the stature of the figure. I just really want a big sword. And there is a DNA design upgrade kit coming that gives you a longer sword, longer cannons. I don't really have a problem with the cannons. Bigger wings. Don't really have a problem with the wings. And a different head sculpt. Don't have a problem with the head sculpt either. I do want a bigger sword. So if somebody else will just make a sword, I'd be very happy with that. So of course the other weapon attached to him is the giant V-Lock cannon. And this thing is pretty massive. It's got substantial weight. It's got parts that move, which is nice. So you could, you know, attach it like this. I don't know if it'll attach to him like that. I think more so for Victory Leo. But it's really cool. Just gray plastic with some red. The red looks good. Sculpt overall black over here, obviously. Red paint here. This is a plastic piece, but overall, it's not a bad piece at all. It's big, you know, so I don't know. I kind of dig this. You could also store this on his back here if you want. Like, you store it there. Now, I think up here, what does this, can we store it here? I think we can store it here as well. Maybe that's exactly where you store it. But, yeah, it's a very cool piece. So, Victory Saber himself, though, man, this is a very cool thing. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the giant platform shoes that's very prevalent in a lot of the Japanese Transformer lore stuff. Just not a big fan of that. But he wears them well, as they say. He wears them well. So, yeah, those pieces are Victory Leo pretty much all scrunched up, and we will see that a little bit later. But that's what all that looks like. It looks pretty crazy. But, you know, works his feet, and you got some nice, you know, gold on the bottom. Which, man, on the bottom, that is scary because that gold chips. I've seen a lot of horror stories with the gold foil. But yeah, there you go. That's what the feet look like. The rest of the legs are pretty cool. You got yellow paint here, blue paint here. It's not 100% perfect, but it's not terrible either. So mine is actually not bad in those terms. You got nice silver paint here, like gunmetal, which looks really good. Sculpt work is tremendous, I think. The back, got the wings and stuff. They look pretty good, but you know, we'll take a look at them more later. This is what all of the back looks like. You know, and then you got the butt. We'll just look at the full back. Then you got, oh, let's move this up here. You got the lion head upside down here. And I kind of feel like it should turn the other way. It can turn the other way. But, you know, directions say for it to go that way, but I kind of just want to leave it like this. This way it's like this cool lion head on the back. You know, if you can do it, why not do it? You know, you get a roaring lion back there if you could open his mouth. That's what I say. Is it right? Who cares? I think it looks cooler like this. That's how I'm gonna do it. And then you got the feet back here. You know, it's just this backpack. It's, you know, back kibble stuff. It is what it is. It's always gonna have this stuff, but the wings look really good. I like them. Red up here looks pretty decent. On the front, it looks even better. So those are the wings. That looks pretty cool. Then you got these cannons up here where the paint could be a little bit better. You know, the edges are not done great. And yeah, that's, you know, I've you know, seen a lot of people complaining about this stuff, and yeah, I mean, can you blame anybody? This thing wasn't cheap, you know. There should be no QC issues on a Haslab, period. You know, we're paying a ton of money for this stuff. There should be no QC issues on any Haslab. It should not happen. Like, pay for more QC checks. You've got the money. You've got well more than the products are worth. Pay for the QC checks. All right? That's what I gotta say. The arm looks pretty good. Autobot symbol again. Red paint. Decent. His arms here, the forearms look pretty good. Thick. Blue paint around that is decent enough. The hands look pretty decent too. Gunmetal gray. This arm all looks pretty good too. The chest here is pretty good. You got wings on the side. You can open this if you want. It's even more super robot-y with them open. Are they supposed to stay open? I don't think they are, but I kind of like that. I kind of like that, guys. But yeah, little wings there. Then you got the gold foil here, which isn't bad either. You know, I kind of lucked out with the foil. There is like a mark. It's not a finger mark. It's like, you know, those like things that they use to press these type of stickers down. You can see like the mark of that on there, but not really much in terms of scratching and stuff or finger marks, which is lucky, I guess. So, you know, Krajisi section looks good. I like this upper section as well. I like these little thrusters over here. I like these over here. Well, grating thrusters. It just all looks good. You know what I'm saying? So this is pretty good. The yellow on the red here. I like the blue of the legs over there. We looked at this stuff. And then, you know, I think it all looks pretty decent. We'll look at the head now, which I think is good. Head sculpt here is pretty decent. I do have something at the tip. It's not a scratch, it's like a little circle, little hole there in the yellow. I don't know if that's supposed to be there. Maybe it is supposed to be there. It looks so perfectly done, so I can't tell what's that about. But I like his face sculpt. That's what I'm saying. I like the face. The silver looks good. The blue eyes look good. And then the yellow up here looks good. And I like his ears. They look really nice. I think a little bit outwards is the way it's supposed to be. So that is pretty well done. Give you a little go around on that. So I do dig that. Something, is there something on his face, or do I have a scratch on his face? I think it's a scratch in the paint right on his face. So what I say about the upgrade kit and the head, I might need a new one. I didn't notice that before. I'm really zoomed in, so, but yeah, it's definitely there. So some blemishes aside, I do like this guy. It's still, I've wanted this to happen for a long time. I've wanted these characters, this character, this combination for, actually more so Star Saber, I gotta say, for the longest time. It does look good overall. There are blemishes though, and some folks have worse blemishes, so I consider myself lucky. You know, I'm not gonna be able to unsee that scratch on his faceplate though. Call it battle damage, if you will, but it's there. And it's a little bit of a bother, but all in all, this thing definitely has an awesome presence. I really, really like it a lot. Okay, so articulation of this boat, as you saw, these guns do move. The head moves up, down, around. You have waist articulation here. And then the shoulders. Really great ratchet joints there. The arm goes outwards this way. And then it could hinge in a couple of different spots there at the bicep and at the elbow for kind of like a double joint there. It's kind of like a double jointed elbow. It's just very weirdly shaped. Then the hands work pretty well. The fist opens and rotates. The legs, nice ratchet joints. These little skirts open up for you. Is good. So you can ratchet on outwards, and then kick forward, and then that little thing can come out. Ratchet forward, ratchet back, swivel. I love the sound of ratchet joints. Quality, in my opinion. Knee works really well, so that's good. And then the feet in this mode, you're not really getting much out of, and this thing opens up a little bit. So do be careful with that. So, but yeah, you know, it's got decent enough articulation. I'm sure there's like some points that I'm missing here, but the wings move in this mode too. But all in all, decent enough articulation for something like this. And for your size comparisons, here is a Victory Saber with a bunch of Transformers in different sizes that you might have in your collection. So he is Jetfire size, who's a huge figure. Costs a lot more than Jetfire, but there's a bunch of different things going on here. This is a special thing. He's basically the same size. Jetfire just has a nice girth to him that I feel like even combined, Victory Saber doesn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Jetfire is just chunky, man. Excuse me, guys. Jetfire, there's something chunky and kind of awesome about the way they did Jetfire. He's just a solid figure, and I feel like their Deathsaurus, which is gonna go, you know, with Victory Saber here, is going to feel like Jetfire, and that, my friends, is a very good thing. Okay, so the process of breaking this guy down, and I want to do this like this, is you want to take off these shoes first. And I'm doing this first because I want to show you something that I personally dig. You take off the shoes and you flip open Star Saber's much cooler, in my opinion, feet. And then I think this is so much cooler with the wings set on, with, you know, the normal size of Star Saber. This, I almost want to display it like this, because this is my favorite iteration of anything here, is Star Saber with that wing set, which I might add. Before we get to that, to disattach it, you want to take it off here and just kind of pull that up and pull it off. So what I was saying was, you could bring in Scourge here, who was left unreviewed. I'm sorry, dude. You could put it on all kinds of Transformers if they have that port in the back. That's pretty cool. So I will say, the sword in Star Saber's hand, without all the extras, is a little more forgivable. Like, it looks better in Star Saber's hand, I think. You know what I'm saying? It just works a lot easier for me. It still should be bigger. Like, Star Saber, Victory Saber, it's very super robot-y to me, and super robots need really big swords, in my opinion. So, you know, this is fine, but I think it could be better. So, anywho, again, I really like the proportions of Star Saber like this a lot more. I love his feet. That's really the only thing to look at extra here is the feet that came out. There's little back thrusters there. Feet look good. And proportionally, I just like him better like this, you know? I mean, his arms might be a tad long, but that doesn't really change. Like, his legs get longer. It's a weird proportional thing anyway. But, you know, there's nothing else to look at here with Star Saber, unfortunately. But, he does look good. He really does. You know, and maybe, you know, in this form was the way to look at him mostly. But, you know, we gave it to Victory Saber because that's the title of the set. But I love Star Saber. You know, like I said, I want the Victory Saber really. But I really, like, would have been happy with just, like, a Star Saber in the main line at any point. I'm glad that point was now, because they're a lot better now than they were a few years back. So, yeah. This looks awesome. I really like Star Saber like this. And to bring in this gang once again, here is Star Saber with some Transformers you might have in your collection. Before moving on to the next part, which deals with Victory Leo, there was a couple of stickers you could apply to him. I decided not to because I don't feel like messing it up. As for Star Saber's pal Victory Leo, let's cue up the usual transformation music and see what we got. And here's Victory Leo all transformed up into robot mode. And as you can see by our size comparisons that we're starting with, he's actually a big guy on its own. He's pretty much leader class, I would say, you know? So, I mean, this is like that Voyager, leader, Voyager size. And he's taller than those to his head. So, he's a big guy. He's a big guy. Taking a look at him, he's pretty cool. I do like him. I think the head sculpt is very nice. White, classic looking, blue eyes. This part here looks good. I know some people have had trouble with this, with the paint rubbing off there. I have not, thankfully. You know, because when you close this, or open it, it's very, very tight. So, do be careful. The gold looks good, as we said, so I'm happy about that. The rest of his chest looks pretty good. I like the red. I like the yellow. I like the white here. This is painted. Looks pretty decent enough. Autobot symbol is fine. You know, it's not completely closed up, but it works. You got these guns on the side that look pretty decent. The legs, he's got like squat legs, but you know, it is what it is. It's fine. A little bit of hollowness on the inside. There shouldn't be any hollowness, really. Again, this shouldn't be any QC or hollowness in something like this. There's no reason to cut corners here. You got all the money you need. You got, and spades. you know, full stop. You don't, just don't. Give us the best you can, okay? Okay. Arms look decent enough. Nothing special there, but they look fine. Then, you know, you got all these legs here wrapped up. You got the knees in yellow. Again, paint could be a little bit cleaner, but it's not the worst. Red there. Little feeties. You got all of that lion leg kibble there. And the back is pretty simple. Oh, this is supposed to go up like so. But, yeah. That looks pretty good, you know. The guns here, the cannons. And we've seen the wings are folded up now. They look pretty decent enough. So, it's not bad. Articulation. He's got the head. He's got the shoulders. I could do that. Got the arms. The wrists move as well. So, that's pretty cool. Legs. He's got no waist because he splits apart. You know, legs. If you do unhook them, even if you don't, you do get legs outward movement. They do want to just attach a little bit. Ratchets going back and forth, which is nice. Single jointed knee in the foot. You can actually do that, but you know, I don't know. You know, it's not that useful, but you can do it. You could also hold a V-lock cannon in a number of ways. On the side, you could bring this down, make him hold it. So, that's not going to be as good. But you can, I guess. Oh, I forgot that this opens up too. But anywho, you could do it. It's mostly for his other mode though. But before we get to any other modes, we got two little robots here that come with them. We got Autobot Holy and Fire. That's alright. Two little mini cons here. And they're okay. Is Holy, he's a police guy. He's got a big screw hole in the middle of him. But, you know, the paint that's there is pretty good. Blue, yellow, face. Zoom in. Not bad. And for something so tiny. And we're talking real tiny here. So, you know, it's not bad. It's got some ball joint articulation. Simple. I think the head even moves. It does. The legs, all of these legs on these little guys are not so hot. They do pop off, and it is a bit frustrating. Here is Fire. Fire, Fire. Look at that classic head sculpt. I love it. Chest looks good. A little mess up there. Who cares? I don't care about these guys at all. And, you know, pretty much the same articulation, I would assume. I don't know about moving that head around too much, but I ain't going to even try. But, you know, they're cool. They're cool little mini cons from Transformers Victory. And we get two more in the upcoming Death Star set, which were free. Not unlockable. They just, you know, appeared later. I like that his fists are blue. How small are they? Pretty small. Brought in Rumble and actually Wheelie, who hasn't been in this video yet, for a little size comparison there. So let's transform these two, shall we? Here are our mini-cons, sort of transformed. They're kind of annoying. Little fire truck is decent enough, I guess. It has that moves, and then even these guys come up, which is kind of cool, but nothing stays together. And as you saw on, I think it was on Holy, the legs just pop out like crazy. Yeah, a little floor polish would do, but I really don't care about these super much. I can't even get this to, there we go. I want to get it closed, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's a lot of paint on this little guy, so I'll give him that. That's pretty cool. Got little rolling wheels, so yeah, whatevs. It's fine enough, right? And there they are with an Optimus. From here, these two are going to transform into three things. We're going to get a base mode and Saber out of Star Saber, and we're going to get the Leo mode out of Victory Leo. So cue up the music. for better or worse, here's everything transformed up into their first mode. We'll look at Saber first, and he's pretty cool. I like his head sculpt. Very police-like as well. His head moves. I like the darker visor of blue. His mouth looks good. A little bit of paint there. Not bad. I like his chest. Some nice off-white paint with the Autobot symbol. Some silver down here that looks really good. Some yellow there. His arms are two-toned. These are painted, so it's not terrible. It really isn't. This is also yellow paint. Paint there. It looks pretty good. Legs are nicely molded. The back, you know, is all of this. Looks pretty good too. We'll look at all of that in his other mode. He's got more articulation. He's got big ball jointed shoulders. You might have noticed this side keeps popping out on me. So that's a thing. I'll have to figure that one out. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of popping out on this shoulder, which is a bummer. You got bicep swivel. You have a joint there. The wrists, do they move? They do move. That's not bad. That's pretty good, dude. The waist, oh, go back and forth because of transformation. Legs kick, go out, swivel at the thigh, single jointed knee. Foot can go up and down. I don't think they can. Slight bit of rocking on this guy. But all in all, I'd say Saber looks pretty good. I'm probably never going to have him in this mode. But, yeah, it's a neat little bot. This gun here, that's on quote-unquote base mode, is really for Saber. So he gets like this ginormous gun, which is okay. Pretty standard issue, you know, Transformer mainline gun. I don't know. There's nothing good about this. You can also place the sword. You'd have to take this part out. And I believe there's some sort of storage. Oh god, there's that in here for that. So that's good. We'll have to, oh boy, we'll have to get that guy back together in a second. But anywho, this goes on here for the full look, and I do like that. Look, I'm not going to give base mode much of anything. It sucks. I hate base modes. I think they're stupid. I never think they look good. There you go. Here's minicons with the base mode. If you want the shield, I don't know, man. It's supposed to go in front. I can't figure out exactly how to get it. So I think it's supposed to go in those things, but it doesn't want to stay. You got the guns here for the head. I guess you got guns here. As you saw, there was a gun here before, but now it's not there. You don't need this. And here's a quick size comparison for Saber. As for Leo, first up here he is with Grimlock. And on its own, I like the head. I think it's pretty cool. You know, you got big teethies there. Big side things. I don't know. I feel like those are not supposed to be like quite like that. Oh, and you can pull them out. Apparently, you definitely don't want to lose that. But the rest of the head sculpt looks pretty good. I did forget to open up these here. The lion mane. But, you know, it's not like they come out so far. And this one doesn't want to stay. There you go. I guess that looks a little bit better. It's a decent enough lion head. You see red in the mouth, which opens and closes. The teeth, you know, and then you got the little feet here. They look alright in the front. Feet in the back. The legs look pretty good. Nice bolded details. You know, so those legs move decent enough. You know, you could move that whole assembly if you want. It's a little tight, but you can do it. And then these kind of move on, like the regular arms are a little extra here. But then you got all of these cannons on the back, which looks pretty good. The V-lock. All of this stuff, you know, makes for a nice little lion. You do have this as supposed to be a tail, I guess. Maybe it's a tail that's curved in. Really? I don't know. Could do better than that, guys. But, he's okay. He's okay. He's not perfect, but he's okay. So for all those cannons, I could have showed this in the opening, you know, Victory Saber, but I didn't. I kind of like it better for this. You get all these effect parts. Nothing we haven't seen here. You know, this is all stuff we've seen. before. You know, on Jetfire, I want to say on the Arc, I think had some. You know, these are done in green, but you know, you get them, you get some of these. So, you know, you have some stuff to play around with. They're okay, you know, as you can see, it's a little warped on mine, but, you know, you get it. Effect parts. So with all that said on these modes, let's say go and transform them into their ships. Okay, so here we have Saber in jet mode, Victory Leo in some sort of jet mode, I don't know what that is, and the Star Saber body as kind of like the booster part that we'll get to. But before we do, you might have noticed we had this little dude, and inside of Saber's face. And you want to flip that around, and you get the Brain of Courage. That's right, there's another little robot in here. And you may or may not be able to make out his face, but it's okay, it's in blue. But you know what? The rest of it is pretty cool. There's some paint on this guy. You got the gold paint again, which actually looks good. You got some blue paint, you got some red paint. You got a little bit of articulation for the arms, the legs. Sit down like so. And you're going to need it to sit down because he's going to pilot Saber. So we could open up the cockpit here. And we could place him in. And there you go. That's pretty cool. And I think the Saber jet looks really nice. You know, I think it does. The wings open look pretty good. The wings in the back look pretty good. The little thrusters look decent. The front, as you saw, this is the sword part, and yeah, that becomes the nose cone. You know, you got paint on that and stuff, so it's all pretty good. I dig this. I think it looks fantastic. You know, Victory Leo here doesn't fare as well. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Sure, it's got the open wings. It's got the V-lock cannon. Up top, it's got more cannons. It's something. It's something I don't really care about. But it's something. And then you got this thing, which is just, you know, nothing in this mode because it needs that. So yeah, let's get to the V-Star. But before we get all the way to V-Star, you know, we stop along the way for this, which is in the first mode, with the Saber ship going into Star Saber's body, whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I don't love it. It's fine. It's got some landing gear, I guess. It's okay. It's okay. It's not the greatest thing in the world. It's okay. You see all the wings out and stuff. You know. I don't know. I definitely don't like the V-Lock cannon on there. I think that looks horrible. It's trying to finagle a different way to do it, but yeah, no, it doesn't really work for me. Let's see if attaching Victory Leo to the rear helps. And real quick, because I forgot to mention it anywhere else, so I'm just adding it in right here. At any point, you could use some thrusters on your jets. So if they have little thruster things there, you could add your effect parts. There you go. And there it is, gang. The V-Star, the final part of this journey on the stand. And, you know, on the stand, it's crazy looking. It's a giant starship. It does look the part. It's kind of cool. All these wings, guns ablazing. You know, it's crazy looking. I mean, it's not, like, super accurate or anything. But, and these legs are coming out. But that's whatever. It's fine. I think I do like it better altogether like this if I'm gonna use a starship, but I'm not. But yeah, it's fine. Again, there is an extra little piece here that you attach to the base we already saw. It has a little cradle. And that does it, guys. That does it. You know, after this review, I'm never gonna have it in this mode again, but again, it's fine. It is what it is. It is a giant combined ship mode, so why not? And for your size comparison, here's another ship we recently reviewed, Jaxus, to go with them. I think it goes well with it. Okay, gang, real quick before we get to final thoughts, just want to place this here because, you know what? I did a lot of transformations in this video, but they're all like sped up ones. And I actually didn't talk about any of the transformations. So real quick, I thought all the transformations and combinations were pretty easy. Like I mentioned at the very, very, very top, the directions are pretty good. So, you know, I didn't really get in trouble like I do with a lot of other Transformers. I think it went pretty smoothly overall. There was nothing that was like I didn't get, you know, so that is pretty awesome. Yet it still had a really awesome, like, complex feel to it, you know, like I was pretty impressed with all the transformations that happened here. So I just wanted to put that in here because, you know what, it's definitely part of the experience. And I do want to say, as much as I felt like that all went smoothly, and nothing got like scratched up or anything, I do feel like parts of this can get scratched up. And also I'm scared of a few parts that are gonna have some like, you know, stress to some of that plastic the more you clip things together and stuff. So do be careful if you have this and haven't, you know, worked it yet, or if you do plan on getting it on the aftermarket. Yeah, do be careful with some of that and probably make your transformations, keep them at a minimal. Like for me, I'm good now. And my final thoughts, man, there's so much to say. It's a great set. I'm going to say that. It's a great set. You know, the V-Star mode and all the jet modes, they're okay. You know, it's not what I'm here for. I'm here for Victory Saber. But the jets and stuff, they're fine. The V-Star is pretty substantial when you put it on the stand. The stand is great for both the V-Star and Victory Saber. It is really fantastic. They did a great job with the stand. Kudos there. But yeah, I'm not in it for the jets and those modes. You know, the robots are cool. I don't care about the Mekons, whatevs. But the little Brain of Courage is cool. And Saber itself is cool. Star Saber, to me, is like the star of the show. It is a really nice piece. I really like that a lot. I do want to keep it separate, and I might do so because I don't really mind Victory Leo. I think he turned out fine too. So as like Batman and Robin, I'm kind of digging them almost more so than Victory Saber combined. Never been a big fan of the platform shoes, but it does look cool and it does look awesome to combine on the stand. So I'm a little conflicted there as to, you know, the final way I'm gonna display it, because I do want to utilize that stand a bit because it's gorgeous. It is really nice. But overall, great set. I really like it. The box is amazing. And, you know, you felt like, you know, they really put it together well. I really appreciate that. I think, you know, the box turned out great. The art is amazing. I will say, and I said this, you know, at the beginning, you know, there's no reason any QC should happen. There's no reason any hollowness should happen on a Haslab when, you know, they're gonna get paid, you know, big time for it. So it should never happen. A little disappointed in a few parts there, but overall I do like this. I think it's a really great set, and I'm really happy with my purchase. And there you go, guys. That's my review. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you could please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Stay safe. Till next time, peace out, people.